Page 22, Wildflower Waltz. 3/4 time, 1 sharp in the key signature, so it's either in G major or E minor. Well, let's take a look at the end. How does it end? Last measure, you're here. It's a G major chord. I'm guessing this is probably in G major. Talk about it one hand at a time. Starting with the right hand of a pickup beat. 3 and 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2. 2, 3. Lift up between each of these phrases. Just thumb comes under. 1 and 2. Lift up. Now, 5th finger up. And then 5th finger here. Crossover. That's fine. Now lift up. 3, 1. You play with the 3rd, put the 1st finger on it so you're ready to go on. So we want to finger this legato. I like that. That's a good idea. And I recommend you substitute and put a thumb on that. So you can do 2, 5 on the next one. Here. So you get all of this in one shot. Just a G chord. It's the end of a phrase and go up. Crossover. See, that D is sharp for the whole measure. Now they're both natural. Lift up. You can use 1 and 5 or 2 and 5. It's up to you. And then lift up. 5th finger. They say 5th finger. I recommend then you immediately put 4th finger on it. So your 5th finger is ready for the F sharp coming because you want to play them legato. So again, the 3rd line. Here, if you'd reach down and put 2nd finger on that, then just cross over there. Either way, it's up to you, or the fingering in the book. And then lift up. Thumb there, thumb again, and lift up, and go on to the next page. That's the same as what you've had before. Go down to the bottom, last line, 3rd finger, and then substitute the thumb for it. So here, and then here. Thumb again, reach out, the thumb again, and I recommend a 2, 5 for that last chord. Here. That G chord again. For the left hand, keep the left hand soft. It's just broken chords. You can do a 2, 3 here if you don't want to do a 1 and 2. Don't forget the F sharps. And here I do a 4. But you can do a 5 if you want. This is the 3rd measure, the 2nd line. To use 5th finger on all of these. Occasionally a 4th is handy and it's convenient. Use 4th finger on this. Like there. It's wherever. You decide how you're going to do that. Last line at the bottom, last 2 measures, you're here. You have to reach up. You can play the D with 3rd finger if you'd rather. Here. That makes it easier to reach the B. We want to play these legato. Here. And then block chords. I do 4 on the 3rd measure, and then a 5, 2. Again, when I get chords that are close together like this, I'll use 1 hand position for them. So it's 4, 1. 3, 1 actually works better if you, but it's, and then go up. And these 4 notes, this is the last 2 measures of the 2nd line. That's a D chord. The fingering is 4th finger on the F sharp. So use 4th finger. And then back to what you were doing. At the bottom of the page, here. That's a C and an E, and then here. And now they do use 4th finger. See, that's a G chord, and that's the fingering for it. That's why we're using that. Over on page 24, that's all basically what you've had, and at the last line you're here. And again, I recommend 3rd finger on the D because it makes it easier to reach the B. And for the last measure, it's treble clef, and I typically will use a 5-2. You can use a 5-1 if you'd like. There's nothing wrong with it. It's up to you. But just make sure it's treble clef. Up here. Both hands are up here. So then you put the hands together once you got the fingering sort of worked out. So. Make sure you lift up the right hand, not the left, just the right hand. Again, the right hand lift up for the phrase. Lift up for the right hand phrase. Both hands come up here, and that's by itself. Hold that D down. Again, the phrase. Make sure you hold that G down as you go up to the next line, or next page, next something, whatever. And that's pretty much it. I mean, the page 24s are basically a repeat of what you already had before. I don't feel like I need to play it all. So once you get that, then we can add the pedal. Now again, they're doing overlapping pedal. That's fine, but I still like to hear the phrasing. So I'm going to lift up when I need to with the right hand, so I hear phrasing in the right hand. I don't want to overlap everything. So at the beginning, I'll push the notes down and then the pedal here. Then I change the pedal after I play the notes. I'm going to lift the pedal up with the right hand. I'm going to hold the left hand down. I want silence in the right hand for the phrase. I'm not even pedaling these eighth notes at the end of the second line. I want a phrase. Again, I won't pedal the last beat. Lift it up. Both hands come up now. Lift the pedal up with the right hand and not pedal the last beat on the first line. And again, lift the pedal up. Now you can go ahead and put the pedal down after you play the B if you want, so we get the overtones. If they're eighth notes, I don't worry so much about the overtones because they go by so quick. But with the longer notes, we want the overtones, so put it in there. Lift the pedal up with the hand and don't pedal here. And here you don't need to pedal these last two here. Just don't pedal them if you want. You can pedal them if you want. But lift the pedal up here to here. We want silence in the right hand. I just don't pedal. And then you keep going to the next measure. And while I'm here, if you have a page turn here, and you're playing for people, you can't stop and turn the page. You got to do it. So in this piece, I'm recommending that you do the page turn when you play that next to the last measure in the bottom, page 23, that G. The moment you play that, you got the pedal down, use that and turn the page real quick. And you'll have to play that last measure from memory here. Turn the page. And then you're ready to go on is what I recommend. And then 24, as I said, is the same as what we've had before. There's no real difference in how you're pedaling or phrasing or anything on that. Dynamic wise, that's through the melody. Keep everything else soft. But whatever you think moderately loud is. And this says moderately fast for a tempo. So it's going to move fairly quickly. It's moderately fast waltz. medium, a little softer, a moderately soft here. Back up to medium loud. Come back down to medium soft. And right there, that's medium loud all of a sudden, like you were at the beginning. And it's sort of an idea on the dynamics that page 24 is similar to what we've already had. I don't want you copying me is the problem, so I don't really want to play it for you, although I just played most of it right there. But I want you to learn the notes and the rhythms and get an idea of the emotional message you're getting from it and bring that out in your interpretation. Not my interpretation, your interpretation. I'd like to do a play with me here and play it all very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I don't know that that's really necessary, but I've done it on all the other videos for this book, so I'll do it on this one too. If you want to play along, go ahead, at least the right hand maybe. I'm going to do pages 22 and 23 and then stop. Then I'm going to turn the page. I'm going to count in again, and then I'll do page 24 and finish it up. So since it starts on an upbeat, pickup beat, anacrusis, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to give us 2 counts and then let's start. Ready and go and. Turn the page. 1, ready, go.